The clash between the two main political parties, New Patriotic Party (NPP) and the National Democratic Congress (NDC), has intensified over the ongoing legal case against Dr. Ato Forson, Minority Leader in Parliament, along with many others.
The National Democratic Congress in their press briefing leveled series of allegations against the Attorney General, Godfred Adame, including witness tampering, conspiracy against an accused person, professional misconduct, fabrication of evidence to pervert the course of justice, among others, in the Ato Forson ambulance trial.
In the period following these startling revelations, the NDC has obtained compelling evidence which support Mr. Jakpa's claim that the Attorney General indeed has engaged him on countless occasions and urged him to falsify, underline, his testimony to aid the case of Attorney General against Dr. Ato Forson. This evidence points to a devious, diabolic, and dangerous plan by the Attorney General to secure conviction against Minority Leader Dr. Ato Forson at all costs, contrary to what the third accused knows and believes to be the truth. We have in our possession a series of recordings in which the Attorney General, Godfred Adame, is clearly heard goading, urging, impressing upon, and actually coaching Mr. Jakpa to bear false testimony against the Minority Leader, Dr. Ato Forson.
In a sharp rebuttal, private attorney and NPP chairman of Legal and Constitutional Committee Frank Davis says no amount of evil intentions can dent the image of the Attorney General. He described an audio tape that captures the alleged voice of Attorney General Godfred Adame and the third accused persons in the Ato Forson trial, Richard Jakpa, as being doctored and plotted by the NDC.
We are very clear in our minds that the cause for the resignation of the Attorney General is misplaced, unwarranted, and this will not put any spokes in the prosecution of Ato Forson and his associates. Ladies and gentlemen, the call for the resignation of the Attorney General coming from the NDC is very, very rich. The NDC calling on the Attorney General to resign from office. That is rich Ghanaians. The AG will not resign. He will continue to remain witty, resolute, and focused in the delivery of his work, as he does always. The wheels of justice, we say, grind slowly, but eventually it will grind to a halt. You all heard the tape. Where did the Attorney General lure the third accused person to prefer evidence against the first accused? With the load of evidence before the court, how can the Attorney General manipulate the third accused person? Indeed, if the prosecution had not made any case against Ato Forson, the judge will not call upon them to open their defense.
So that's a summary of what happened with both political parties, the NDC and the NPP. Joining us on phone for one interview regarding this case of the ambulance trial is private legal practitioner, senior lawyer Martin Bebu, for more on this. Lawyer, thank you so much for your time. You're welcome to Newsbeat. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Annie. Afternoon.
Right. So, firstly, I've heard you make comments. I'll come to that. But do you see a ploy by these two political parties making every effort to render this case partisan?
Well, let me see. When the fact, I'm struggling with this view. You see, the main thing is that an injustice is being perpetrated. So even if anybody wants to make it partisan, it's of no moment, because the key thing that nobody should joke with, and which every citizen who is of the age of majority and understand what's going on needs to join in and chip in is that it is our collective justice system which is at stake. So for me, at this time, it really doesn't matter whether a party has joined in or not. Rather, on the contrary, the parties have numbers. So when they join in, then they give the case the kind of gravitas and the kind of traction that it requires. Yes, because you see, NDC being a political party, when they waded in, it certainly gave the case more traction and everything else. So for me, I really don't think that it matters that the parties have joined in. But the key thing is that, listen, our collective justice system is in that threat, and we all need to chip in. This is a very serious matter. We don't need to play about it, because the way we handle it would chart a certain path going for it. If you don't sanction the persons concerned in the video, etc., it's going to serve as an incentive for other persons to behave the same manner in future. So let's not play with this. Whether party joining or not, it's of no moment.
Now, listening to you over the weekend, you made a statement. You said if indeed the third accused was being coerced, sort of, by the Attorney General to lie against the first accused, you would describe it as subornation, as you lawyers call it. Having listened to the video, the tape, as released by the NDC, how will you describe it now with the evidence in front of us?
A classic case of subornation, textbook example of subornation. It couldn't have been clearer than what we have in the tape. When I listened to it, I was like, what? A beggar's belief that Danny stood so low. It was so childish, extremely childish that Danny did that. You heard, he didn't even understand the transaction. He didn't understand what a site LC is. So the accused now had to school him in a site LC. But because he was hell-bent on getting the accused to fabricate evidence, then he asked the accused to give that kind of evidence. Nonetheless, after the accused had given him education about a site LC, it was so childish. Look, this thing is so embarrassing that, listen, this Attorney General should have resigned that very day the witness mentioned it in court, because he should have known that the rest was to follow. It's so embarrassing. Why are we treating Ghana so poorly? It was so clear. You can't get any clearer case of subordination of a witness than what Dami did in that audio. He heard it. That no, you answer it the way I want it. Then the accused said, hey, but it's going to haunt me. I'm going to battle with my conscience. And so you shouldn't worry about that. It won't do anything. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then the other charges, they go a number of times to go and meet in the house of a certain Supreme Court judge. The judge too ought to be going, because we need to purge all of the actors in this system, take them out so that the people's confidence in the justice system will be renewed. Because you see, it's not like just one, let's say, innocuous meeting in the judge's house. No, even from the case, they say that several times. So it means that it has become the venue for this illegality. So no, the judge has to go. He also has to go, so that it gives, perception is everything. You media people, your favorite word, the optics. So currently, even if Attorney General resigns alone and the judge is left in office, no, this case won't die. It will haunt us forever. So if we let the AG go, the judge also goes, then it will be seen that yes, the case has been properly dealt with. Just like you see the Anas expose. Yes, then the confidence of the people will be renewed in the system. Otherwise, it will haunt us forever.
Without sounding prejudicial, how does this tape affect the substantive case before the courts?
There's nothing prejudicial about your question. What's going to happen is that, and I think they've done it, by law, they have to apply for stay of proceedings. So there's what we call, under the law of disclosure, when such a thing happens, that prosecution is involved in such malpractice, you apply to the court for a stay of proceedings. Then you show how the prosecution was erecting justice. And once the evidence is upheld, the trial will be stopped. They cancel it, because the justice system doesn't like abuse. Don't abuse the justice process for political vendetta, for political witch hunts. No. So this is what we call abuse of process of the court.
So does that mean that the NDC that actually put this tape out or exposed this have a right to go for the stay of proceedings?
No, the right belongs to the accused person.
The accused person.
Yes, but the NDC can call for a parliamentary probe. They can call for a parliamentary probe.
Okay.
After that, let's go for the parliamentary probe or commission of inquiry so that we'll go into the other areas. You know, that may be the same thing to ACP Dr. Benjamin Agojo. He was innocent, yet Dami told us expressly that he added Agojo to the treason trial to make the case weighty. And other people have complained. So let's have a full inquiry into the ethics of Dami. All the cases is prosecuted. Let's have a review. I'm hearing other complaints from other people so that we will stand this in the back. Leave all these ones in the back. This prosecutorial malpractices that Dami has been engaged in as Attorney General. It's brought the office into disrepute. So we need to cleanse it by having a full inquiry into all of the cases is done. Open up, let people come up and testify what they suffered at his hands so that we will have this renewed sense of purpose and confidence in the system.
Now, a quick one with regard to the meeting in the house of the Supreme Court judge. How serious is this, and how will it also affect this whole development?
It is against the ethics of the judges. Yes, so the judges have a code of conduct. So this is against it, and so that's why I said, unfortunately, the Supreme Court judge is a nice man, brilliant man, but unfortunately this has happened, and so it would be better that he, takes a bow so that we know that we've resolved this. His services will always be needed at the bar. He was a brilliant judge, brilliant lawyer, so he can return to the bar and then practice.
Lawyer Martin Pebu, we're grateful for your time this afternoon.